Hello children, welcome to our computer virtual classes. How are you all? Hope you all are doing good. Let's recall what we discussed in our previous class. We have discussed about what is a computer, how it works, and what are the different input, output and processing devices. And also we discussed about history of computers and few early computing devices like abacus, difference engine, Pascal line machine, analytical engine. Now in this class we are going to discuss about generations of computers. First is the first generation computer. The time period of first generation computer is from 1946 to 1959, and the computers during this period were very large and expensive, and they consume large amount of electricity and generate lot of heat. See, the first generation computers are of room size. See, such a big computer. And the example for first generation computer is UNIVAC and ENIAC. UNIVAC stands for Universal Automatic Computer, whereas ENIAC stands for Electronic Numeric Integrated and Calculator. And the technology used in first generation computers is vacuum tubes and magnetic drums. Let us see how the vacuum tubes will look like. See, like this the vacuum tubes will looks like, and vacuum tubes were used for calculation as well as to control the stored information. And these vacuum tubes are not so successful because they would heat up and damage quickly. So that's the reason we have moved on to the second generation of computers. And this is how the magnetic drums will looks like. And the magnetic tape and magnetic drum replaces the vacuum tube. And this magnetic drum is cylindrical in shape, metal coated with. A magnetic drum is a cylindrical shaped metal coated with a chemical on which the data is stored. And the advantage of first generation computer is during those days these vacuum tubes are used. The first generation computers make use of vacuum tubes, which is the only electronic component available during those days. And these computers could calculate the calculation within milliseconds. And coming to the disadvantages, see, it is very big in size, and these computers are very costly, and it stores only small amount of data, and they would heat up very fast and very less work efficiency, and it large amount of energy consumption is done, and it is not so reliable, and constant maintenance is required for the first generation of computers. Now let's move on to the second generation computers. And the time period for second generation computer is from 1959 to 1965. And the second generation computers are based on transistors. The first generation computers use vacuum tubes, no? So we are getting a lot of problem by using these vacuum tubes. So they started replacing these vacuum tubes with the transistors. And you can see these are some of the examples for second generation computers. See, this is how the transistor will look like. The transistors use a special material that helps in controlling the flow of electricity through the circuit. Transistor based circuits were better when compared to vacuum tube based circuits. And the advantages of second generation computer are, due to the presence of the transistors as the electronic component, this results in reducing the size of the computer, when compared to the first generation computer, and less energy and does not produce as much heat as first generation computer, and the speed is very high, that is it can calculate within microseconds, whereas first generation computer used to calculate in milliseconds. These second generation computers will be calculated within microseconds only. And the disadvantages of second generation computers are cooling a system is required and constant maintenance is also required, and it is used only for a specific purpose. It is not used for all the purpose, only for specific purpose we'll use this second generation computers. Now let's move on to the third generation computers. And the time period for third generation computers is from 1965 to 1971. So this third generation computers makes use of integrated circuits. This is the technology that is used in the third generation computers, and these are the examples for third generation computers. See, this is how the integrated circuit will looks like. A circuit is a closed path along which the electric current flows. An integrated circuit has many elements that are interconnected and they cannot be separated. See, this is your integrated circuit. See where different components are connected, and the transistors become very smaller and were replaced on silicon chips. This green color board you can see, this is called silicon chip, where it gives lot of power to our gadgets, and many different programs could be run on these computers at the same time. So here transistors, capacitors, everything are interconnected on a integrated circuit. And coming to the advantages of third generation computer, they are very cheaper when compared to our first and second generation computers, and they are fast and reliable. And these computers has big storage capacity when compared to first and second generation computers. And integrated circuits not only reduce the size of the computer but also improve the performance of the computer. Okay, and from this generation of computer, this operating system was used. So they use an operating system for the better resource management, and these computers reduces the computational time from microseconds to nanoseconds, which is a very good thing. And the disadvantage of this third generation computers is these integrated chips are very difficult to maintain, and a high sophisticated technologies are required in manufacturing the integrated circuits. And for all these computers, the air conditioning is required. Now let's move on to the fourth generation computers. And the fourth generation computer time period is from 1971 to 1980. And the fourth generation computers are microprocessor based computers, and these computers are still in use and are further developed. So the desktop computers which we are using are of fourth generation computers. So all these desktop laptops comes under fourth generation computers, and they are microprocessor based computers. And see, this is how the microprocessor will looks like. Microprocessor is a device that uses data in its digital form as an input, and it is going to process this input according to the instructions that are already stored in the processor, and it is going to give you the output. And the microprocessor is used in computers for any logical and arithmetic functions to perform any program. See children, this is how the microprocessor will looks like. And coming to the advantages, it is fastest in computing and the size is being reduced when compared to your first, second, third generation computers. And heat generated is negligible and the size is very small and less maintenance is required. And fourth generation computers are more powerful, reliable and affordable when compared to our previous generations of computers. The disadvantage of microprocessors computers is microprocessor design is very complex and air condition is required in many cases and advanced technology is required to make integrated circuit. So for all these generations of computers, air condition is required, otherwise it is going to heat up quickly and the system may damage. Let's move on to the next generation computer, that is fifth generation computer. These fifth generation computers are based on artificial intelligence. The aim of this fifth generation computer is to make a device which could respond to the natural language input and it is capable of learning and self-organizing. That means computers are being developed in such a way that they can think on their own like human beings do. This is called artificial intelligence. Robots work on this technology. This generation computers are based on ULSI technology, that is ultra large scale integration technology, which results in the production of microprocessor chips and having 10 million electronic components. And the example for fifth generation computer is supercomputers. And this is how the supercomputers will look like. In big organizations will have these supercomputers to maintain large amount of data. The advantage of fifth generation computer is it is more reliable and works faster, and it is available in different sizes with unique features, and it also provides computers with more user-friendly interface and with multimedia features. See, the computers of this generation have special uses like we can make robotics, we can make video games, we can make music, we can make movies, we can make 3D computer animations, and also we use this fifth generation computer in school works, business, navigation, space technology, system to analyze the problems and finding the solutions, and also in healthcare system. See, like this we can make all these things by using this fifth generation computers. And these are the examples of fifth generation computers like desktop, laptop, notebook, ultrabook and Chromebook. So till now we have discussed about generations of computers. Let's recap all the things. So the first generation computer time period is from 1946 to 1959 and the technology used is vacuum tubes. The second generation computer time period is from 1959 to 1965 and the technology used is transistors. And the third generation computer time period is from 1965 to 1971 and the technology used is integrated circuits. And the fourth generation computer is from 1971 to 1980 and the technology used is microprocessors. And the fifth generation computer is from 1980 onwards and the technology used is artificial intelligence. So children, we are supposed to learn in which generation computer, what is the technology used is very important. This part you should learn thoroughly. Hope you all understood the lesson. Thank you children. Have a great day.